Hello and welcome along to the ProjectCars2 Virtual Racing League, where today you join us for what is a momentous occasion. It is the start of the Touring Car Championship on the Xbox platform, using the Xbox drivers that you might be familiar with if you've been following. They're fresh off the GT3 Championship and they're raring to go today in the Touring Cars. Snetterton 200 gets us underway today. As you can see the calendar on the screen there, it's pretty full. We've got plenty of racing, and this time it's a slight twist because there's two races at each circuit. 15-minute races, two 15-minute races, qualifying for the first one, and there is qualifying for the second one as well today, but the rounds in the future will have random grid positions for the second race, and you have to take a pit stop, but only in one of those races, so it could really mix things up. Anyway, Snetterton 200 circuit here today, 2-mile circuit, some legendary corner names as well, and a good mix of cars as well. We've got the BMW out there, the Astra, the Renault, and also a couple of Mercedes in the mix as well, so it'll be interesting to see what cars this circuit suits. So some of the rules on screen here: all drivers must pit once over the two races, so if you pit the first race, for example, you don't have to pit the second one, so you can really benefit on the second race. You don't have to take on tyres or anything either, as long as you come in and pit, that is all that matters. But anyway, let's have a look at the starting grid today. It's Subrosa who starts on pole position after narrowly missing a GT3 Championship crown last week. He starts as he means to go on here today, just ahead of BTCC Dan. He loves touring cars, does BTCC Dan. Cherry Berry in third ahead of Chris Doughty, one of the favourites there, Chris. Roger the Dodger is back with us, fifth place there, ahead of Alex CDL. Crazy Stewpot in eighth. And then we got in seventh, then Scuderia Sam, Luke McGee, the Scotsman, Big Bad Wolf, Stuart Davis all the way down in 11th, unfamiliar territory for him. And then the Irishman D-Man there in 12th, he loves touring cars as well. Then welcome along a newcomer, Ripwin to Messine in there as well, just out qualifying for Gazelle, and they're on the grid now, raring to go, and it's away to go now. Off the start grid, we're looking at Alex CDL there in the white Astra. He gets a good start, but coming through the middle there, scouting his way through the field is the BMW Scuderia Sam. He's going down the inside, very risky manoeuvre, using some of the pit entry down now. It's three abreast, and they tangle, and that's Chris Doughty, I think, off Crazy Stewpot. 3 into 1 didn't go there clearly, and there's an advertising board somewhere flying there, because I think that's the Monster Energy Renault there of Cherry Berry running wide and on the grass as they come through now out of Wilson's corner and down the Bentley straight they go. Oh, and big catch, and over, that's Alex CDL. He's going over, and now he's getting a bit of piggyback from Loopy McGee there. Loopy McGee is carrying him down the straight, and Alex CDL says, cut it out, I need to get back on the grey bit. And now they go through the very tricky Brundle's corner, and it's BTCC Dan who's managed to get the initiative, and he's leading the race ahead of Roger the Dodger. Great start for Roger the Dodger up there in second. We've seen him make great starts on the opening laps before. He's ahead of Subrosa, down to third for us. We're all spinning around now. That's Crazy Stewpot again involved, and also possibly Chris as well involved once again. Those two have tangled twice on the opening lap by the looks of it. Stuart Davis has not had a good start, despite the BMW seeming quite fast off the line in the hands of Free Gazelle and Scuderia Sam. Free Gazelle's up to 9th, look, fantastic start for Free Gazelle. Stuart Davis all the way back to 13th, ahead of his old teammate from the GT3 Championship, Alex CDL. And we're looking at D-Man now, the Irishman. Look at that, from D-Man all the way up to 6th place. He's really benefited from the opening lap chaos there. Luke McGee as well going well, and there's Chris Doughty recovering. Expect him to have a lot of pace. Alex, what do you make of that?
That was a bit of a mess to the first lap. I think all the Astras went backwards, especially with all the incidents, and Alex is a big roller really. Looks like he's attacking Stu now, bumper flapping. What we have to remember is these two are the teammates in this championship. There was a random draw on teammates as Alex goes down the inside. Ooh, almost went into Free Gazelle there. Looks like Stewpot goes wide on the hairpin, just cuts it actually. But yeah, there is randomly assorted teammates, so BTCC Dan's teammate is Wolf down in 7th, as we see Roger now in 3rd. Nice to see the Mercedes up there. It's good spread out of different manufacturers, so it'll be interesting to see which one will come out on top.
Yeah, in practice the Renaults have been going extremely well, haven't they, Alex? And looks like they are the favourites, and indeed at the moment we have Renault in first, second and third position. Oh no, sorry, because Roger Dodge's in the Mercedes, isn't he? First and second position anyway. Roger Dodge has ceded second to Subrosa. I think he ran a little bit wide coming out of Brundle's corner, quite possibly. We're looking at Cherryberry now. He's in a bit of a queue forming behind the BMW of Scooter Sound. Runs a bit wide there onto the grass, very easy to do through turn 1 and down into the hard hairpin now. He's trying to keep up with Roger the Dodger there in the Mercedes, but it looks like there's a bit of a train forming behind this BMW now, and they're all waiting to get past, aren't they?
Yeah, but this BMW on the straight will absolutely fly away. It's where the fastest car is. See, he's just pulling away from the Renault. It's even with the slipstream, we just can't get close to him as we go into Brundle's under the bridge, braking hard, down to 4th, 3rd. A bit of a lock-up from Mercedes up ahead. A bit of a wider line from Sam there, so tighter out the corner, but it seems to be okay. But this is where the Renault really picks up through the dip there. This long right-hander, and the Renault just reel that BMW in nicely.
Yeah, you can clearly see that. Good demonstration there of how quick the BMW is in a straight line. So some of those faster circuits that we're going to go to this in this championship, you could expect to see the BMW coming on very strong. But today is a battle of the Renaults here between BTC Sedan and Subrosa. And it's really great to see BTC Sedan up there. He's had some struggles, hasn't he, in some of his races recently, but he's going extremely well, and you can tell he really loves these touring cars. But he has got a strong adversary here in the shape of Subrosa, who is a very strong contender for the last championship, and he really is showing once again that he can adapt quickly between cars, and he's very strong here again in second, hunting him down. And it looks like Cherryberry is running wide there, and there's a good battle going on between D-Man and Big Bad Wolf there. Look, Big Bad Wolf in the slipstream. He's having a little look. It's a really brave manoeuvre if he goes for it here into Nelson and Brundle's corner, because it's a really fast corner where you can really lose the back end if you're not careful. And they're side by side. Oh, this is incredible racing. And D-Man just about holds it off, and they both managed to get through there safely. But now Big Bad Wolf's got a great run out of here. Is he going to stick with them as they go through the twisty corners now, through Bomb Hole? And you have to be careful how you say that. And through Bomb Hole he goes, and Big Bad Wolf coming off the curb there has lost momentum slightly. Coming round now, and yeah, it looks like he's lost a bit of time there. It looks like, if anything, Scuderia Sam's breaking away from this trio, Alex.
Yeah, it looks like he's pulling away nicely, and Cherryberry won't want to be getting involved in Wolf's and D-Man's little battle, because that'll cost him big time. As you see the new guy here, Requin, French driver, so first French driver on the ProjectCars grid, I believe, and Lucy Stupor going a bit wide there, being chased down by Alex. And this is down in 12th place, so poor start for both of these guys, and really shows that even though they had good championships in the GT3, it can all change when you go to different vehicles.
You're right there, but of course these two drivers are extremely quick, and you would be expecting them normally to be fighting up near the sharp ends of the grid, but in this race it's not really worked out for them, has it, so well? It'd be interesting to see the drivers who have fallen back a bit. They'll probably pit, if not already have pitted, and you know, just kind of damage limitation, isn't it? You're already near the back, might as well use your pit stop. And in the second race come into play, you see Alex there trying to distract Crazy Stewpot, and I think it's worked. Crazy Stewpot's run a bit wide there on the bricks. You can see them locking up the wheels, and Alex CDL now taking the wider line out of the corner round the outside, and he's got him. Look, fantastic manoeuvre there from Alex CDL. You can see him switch to the inside trying to distract Crazy Stewpot, and normally that sort of thing doesn't work, but it did this time. Yeah,
but that Astra has phenomenal brakes over the Megane. The Megane can't brake as well as the Astra, so I think that played into Alex's move there, especially as he can just pretend he's going for the dive, force the mistake from Stewpot, and just go down the inside. There's a cracking little battle going on for the lead between Subrosa and BTC Sedan. So the first time we've seen BTC Sedan in quite a while. He only did 1 or 2 races in the GT3 Championship, so it's nice to see him back. He's done plenty of races in the PlayStation group, but he's under immense pressure here.
Yeah, he only did 1 race. Oh, Subrosa up on 2 wheels there, got away with it. He's only done 1 race as BTC Sedan in the GT3 Championship in the Xbox. But like you say, Alex, he has done a lot of racing in the PS4. Is Cherryberry doing rallycross? What's he doing all the way over there? He's out in the field somewhere, and thankfully he doesn't annoy the farmers too much. He gets away with it. But look, in the background, this has enabled D-Man and Big Bad Wolf to resume their battle a bit, and Big Bad Wolf's on the inside, but D-Man's going to have the inside for the next corner, but he doesn't quite get there, and they, as you were kind of thing now for the last corner, but Big Bad Wolf has managed to get in front of D-Man. They're really battling their way hard, but their battle has allowed Cherryberry to go unpunished in that era.
Yeah, that's going to allow Cherry just to get away a bit, but these two are really pushing hard. the Astra seems to be a bit slower around this track, which is over qualifying. As but Big Bad Wolf goes wide, and Cherryberry on the inside. Two big mistakes there, and that's Cherryberry's shooting off to the left. Not sure where he's gone. He's gone left of field. Oh, there he is. Gone to say hello to the spectators, showing them how this Renault looks up close. But the other side now, he's trying to use the 300 track, it looks like, and as he finally makes his way back onto the straight.
Yeah, Cherryberry clearly had a bit of a moment there, navigational error, taking the scenic route back to the circuit, but thankfully, for his sake, he has found it back to the grey stuff, and he's lost a lot of time now to these two here. D-Man and Big Bad Wolf won't really be waiting around for him, will they, to go on, catch back up. We'll continue our battle. Cherryberry has lost a lot of time, and Scuderia Sam is pitted, I think, from that battle, by the looks of it, because he's really dropped back now quite a bit. He's behind Stuart Davis, so one of the other BMWs in the field there. Looks like they could be having a battle before long, so I don't think Stuart Davis has pitted yet. But we're looking at Crazy Stewpot now, in 11th position. He quite possibly has pitted. We'll probably see a rundown of who has and who hasn't pitted before the next race. But he's hunting down Loopy McGee by the looks of it, so these two have had some fun battles in the past as well, haven't they?
Yeah, some great battles between these two, and Loopy McGee obviously in the wars earlier with Alex in the first lap. We will see Sabrosa flashing his lights as he's trying to distract Dan, but that won't work. Going back into Brundle, looks like they're coming up to the back markers as almost over there on one wheel. You don't see that often. Sabrosa has to take to the dirt to avoid him, but he's got the lead now.
Yeah, and Sabrosa bombs his way past through the bomb hole corner, and BTCC Dan, after turning his car into a motorbike temporarily off on two wheels there. Very dangerous sausage curve here, you can see on the last corner there too. Very surprising, we haven't seen more of that actually so far. And yes, he's lost a lot of momentum as a result, and Subrosa says, thank you, I don't need a second invitation to take the lead off your hands. But BTCC Dan now needs to knuckle down and try and get back past. It looks like they're very even on pace, those two. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens. And unusually, Stuart Davis and Scuderia Sam don't seem to be so even on pace. Despite being in the same car, they're usually quite even. Normally, actually, Stuart Davis has a slight upper edge on Scuderia Sam when it comes to one lap pace anyway. But at the moment, Scuderia Sam's really catching Stuart hand over fist, and now he's got a really good run on him going down the main straight. But Stuart Davis is going to hold the inside, Alex.
Yeah, Sam's just going around the outside. It really shows what a good exit can do, plus slipstream. But Sam really seems to be at home here. Will he go for the outside? Be a brave move. He's trying. Stu forcing him wide, just leaning on him. But I think Sam's got it for the meantime. Yeah, he's got it, but Stu will be braking late, trying to get the car pull up. He does, but that's going to run him deep. Sam can go around the outside now, side by side, and the better exit gives Sam that position, but Stu will get the slipstream, but I think he's too far back.
Yeah, it looks like he's lost a little bit of momentum, like you said, coming out of the last corner, and that put him under attack. And talking of under attack, BTCC Dan has reclaimed the lead, but he's still under attack from Subrosa, so he missed that overtake. Hopefully we'll see it in a replay at the end of the race. But BTCC Dan now has the lead once again, and this is absolutely ferocious racing between the two of these guys here, isn't it? And BTCC Dan constantly having to defend in that hairpin from attacks from Subrosa, which of course then means he's a little bit slower onto this straight, the back straight, Bentley straight as it's called. But then of course they come into Brundles and Nelson's corner, which aren't really traditional overtaking spots. You kind of have to hope that the person in front makes a little bit of an error so you can get them. But it's really fascinating racing this is between the two of them. They're absolutely on it. They're clearly in a class of their own. You can see Roger Dodger in the back there. He's lost touch with these two. They're kind of having a race by himself at the moment. And really hard racing, and that's what we want to see.
Yeah, definitely what we're seeing. Dan avoided the sausage curve this lap. A lot of the drivers were complaining about the sausage curve, saying they were a bit too harsh. As see Dan getting very close to them. A couple of drivers saying the sausages belong in a bun rather than a racetrack. So the chaos they were causing. But on board with Subrosa now. Looking at the back of BCC Dan's car. Not quite getting the slipstream. Pulling out wide, try and get a better line through, but it looked like he had big understeer there and actually fell back a bit. But Dan going defensive, that's not going to help. I'm surprised he went defensive there because it's going to compromise his line as it does, and look how much Sabrosa's caught up.
Absolutely, Dan's going defensive now on the Bentley straight too, so Sabrosa is going to have to do one of the bravest overtaking manoeuvres if he's going to get round the outside there, especially BTCC Dan, who has clearly got his mindset on winning this race and putting up a very strong defensive display all the way to the flag if he can, and he's nice and smooth round there after his two-wheel incident a couple of laps ago. And Sabrosa though is trying to switch back to the inside through Bomb Hole and through the last couple of corners. A really long right-hander awaits the drivers as they go around here, and then they have to stay right for the last corner, which is a left-hander, to get a good exit, because otherwise you're going to be absolute toast on the straight if you don't get a good exit through there, and you've got a couple of nasty curbs waiting for you, like you've already said, Alex. But it looks like Sabrosa here is using everything in his weaponry that he can to try and get past BTCC Dan, and it hasn't worked so far.
No, and it probably won't be too long till you might see a dive here. Obviously, with these two battling, they're clearly not going to pit this race. Maybe Sabrosa, if he thinks he can't win, so he might pit this one and try and get the second race, so then that evens the score. But it's basically tit for tat really between these two. No one's given an inch, and talking of battles, these two are still going at it. D-Man and Wolf in the yellow and blue car. There's still tooth and nail there.
Yeah, well, the top five haven't pitted, have they? So it'd be interesting to see, because the top five will have to pit then in the second race, assuming it stays as it is. Scuderia Samia is the first of the runners who have pitted in this race by the looks of it, and he's just ahead of Cherryberry, who has also pitted. Cherryberry is slightly catching Scuderia Sam at the moment, but probably not at a rate quick enough to catch him unless there's a mistake there from the BMW driver. And then we're looking at Chris Doddy, they're back in 8th, who's going along nicely actually, a 13.5, that's just as quick as the leaders. And look at that there, did you see that then? Loopy McGee and Crazy Stewpot going side by side into the hairpin. Fantastic racing between these two, who were of course Audi teammates in the GT3 championship that we've just come off. And so no love lost between these two. They're absolutely going for it here. And we're on the final lap, as you can see. Stuart Davis is a bit lonely at the moment. Free Gazelle is battling the new French comer, the new French driver. And BTCC Dan with the constantly flashing lights of Sabrosa. That seems to be becoming his trademark a little bit. And he hasn't got that many more corners, has he, Alex, to make a pass here? Where is he going to dive from here?
He could be very brave and call Dan's bluff when he goes to the inside, try and go around the outside. That's not going to work. If you're very brave, you could try and overtake here, but Dan's already covering that off. He's too smart for that. No, you can't really overtake on this long sweeper, because if you try around the outside, you can easily get pushed onto the grass, and that's your race ruined. If he's very, very brave, you can dive on the inside here, but that can cause an accident. Oh, he was looking almost into the back of Dan, but Dan's holding him off. No, it's a run to the line. Down the lead, Sabrosa will have the slipstream. He's right on his bumper, but I don't think he has enough to pull out. He's looking, flashing light, but Dan takes the win.
That was fantastic racing between the two of them there. Well done, both of them actually. But BTCC Dan taking, I believe, his second win ever in the Xbox League. I might be wrong there, BTCC Dan, if you're listening, but I do believe it's the second win. So congratulations, and a great fight all the way. Very clean racing as well, it has to be said, between the two of them. Roger the Dodger didn't quite have the pace in this race, but you finished third in Mercedes there, ahead of D-Man and Big Bad Wolf, who were battling all the way to the line too. Scuderia Sam's going to take 6th by the looks of it, just ahead of Cherryberry, with the fire spitting out the back of that BMW. Cherryberry, of course, with that mistake, might be ruining that slightly, because he probably would have finished ahead of Scuderia Sam if it wasn't for that. And then good recovery drive from Chris, actually, isn't it, to finish 8th?
Yeah, excellent recovery. The Opels aren't very keen with this track, as they're a bit harder to get going around, but they seem to be better at the other tracks, especially the faster corner ones. We see Stu Pot coming home in 10th, and then Stu in the bright orange BMW. Would we expect any other colour from Stu? Coming home in 11th. So we see these two still battling. Ooh.
Yeah, it looked like it was a battle all the way to the end there from Free Gazelle and Rickwin. They were lapped, I think, in that race. But they were having a fantastic battle, so it didn't really matter too much that they were lapped. But confirmation of the result there, BTCC Dan taking the win in the green machine. He loves touring cars. BTCC is in his name, so obviously he loves touring cars. But look at that, only a 10th on the line from Subrosa. I got a feeling it's going to be a championship long fight between those. But also add in a couple of the others to the mix too, especially that man Chris Doherty, who's had terrible luck on the starts recently of any of the races. But he did go quite well in the race to recover to 8th there, so he'll be one to watch. But yeah, let's see what happens in race 2. So we've got a few of the drivers who, of course, didn't pit the first time, so they will have to next time. So interesting to see how this shakes things up. But let's have a look at the replay first from the start, Alex.
Yeah, see Sam using all the road he can onto the pit. Looks like he just got ahead of Chris's car and then tried to get back on the track. Just caused Chris to have to move, and they just got locked up with Stu, so that compromised them two at the start. And then Alex going around the outside. The C on called Stu. Seems like a lot of wheel spin and revs. They didn't get a clean getaway. You just see Freegazel behind, flying, getting a great launch. But Stu covering off on the inside. Oh, he got hit by Freegazel. Freegazel just losing the back there and getting a hit again, and around he went.
I think he got hit 3 times there, Stu, in one corner, which is quite impressive. This is on board from Chris. So yeah, he goes to turn in and he has Stu caught on his outside, Scooter Sam on his inside, and very unfortunate for Chris there, just got caught out, I think.
Yeah, just nowhere to go, especially in these massive grids. So we see Alex's big spin, just tags Wolf's car. Loopy didn't expect the car to come back across, just tags aside, and that's enough to flip him, and then he says, I'll give you a hand, and tries to get him going.
Yeah, he tries to bump start him again, give his friend a bit of a lift there, but Alex CDL was probably hoping he'd be put down sooner than that.
Yeah, I think everyone in the Astros in that first lap, as we see, I think this is D-Man's incident with Stewpot again, so Stewpot not a fan of the green Astros at all. We see.
I think that was Chris actually, wasn't it?
They're in the same.
Or was it Stu?
They're in the same colour cars, so it's hard to tell.
Oh, right, I see.
No, the French new French driver Queen just sort of giving up and trying to the barrel championship.
They don't get any points, unfortunately, even though it's touring car. There's no points for hitting boards or doing barrel rolls. But look at that from Cherryberry, really good manoeuvre there on Scuderia Sam. Round the outside, is it? Oh, that's very brave stuff indeed from Cherryberry, and then just gives Scuderia Sam a nudge onto the grass, and that allows D-Man and, by the looks of it there in the wing, a Big Bad Wolf to get through. Great manoeuvre there from Cherryberry. It's a train effect then. This is Subrosa going up on 2 wheels. I think we saw that one live, didn't we? BTC Sedan, this is going to be his almost roll probably. Yeah, oh, look at that. Just turned in a little bit too early, Alex, was it?
I think he just, the curb on the left, sorry, was a bit slippery, and that just caught him out, because the right rear tyre is almost stone cold in the front wheel drive touring car. So you see Ricky and the BMW Freegazel. Oh, he tried to dive and both locking up, and that was nearly a great overtake there.
Yeah, I think that was very much on the last corner of the last lap too, so great racing between the two of them. Looking forward to seeing how that develops. But race 1 pit stops, most of the drivers have pitted, looks like it. So still to pit, BTC Sedan, Big Bad Wolf, Subrosa, Roger Dodge, D-Man, Joe and Alex Brown as well. So yes, quite a few still to pit there. Joe, I don't think was with us in the first one, was he?
No, neither was Alex Brown. They're the reserve drivers, because we had so many drivers asking to join, so a few missed out, so they got drafted in for the second race.
Yeah, so qualifying looks like this for the second one. Cherryberry's put it on pole position. Fantastic. 12.0 is absolutely scorching. Very narrowly ahead of Joe Brown and Subrosa. BTC Sedan in 4th. So looking forward to seeing Subrosa versus BTC Sedan Part 2. Alex CDL, they're up in 5th. They're just ahead of Scuderia Sam. Roger the Dodger down in 7th there, interestingly. Ahead of Chris Doherty, though. Big Bad Wolf is in 9th. D-Man in 10th. So Part 2 for those guys as well. And then goes down a bit more. Stuart Davis in 13th, and then Rickman, Alex and Freegazel. So let's see how they get on. The drivers are ready, they're on the grid ready to start, and it's lights out, and they're off, and lots of tyre smoke. But looks at BTC Sedan straight through the middle. Great start from him, and Cherryberry not such a good start. And then you've got also Joe there in the inside, Scuderia Sam as well. Oh, tangle! between, I think that's Roger, and there's another car off there, not sure who that was, and looks like there's more tankering going on. Absolute carnage going on. Oh my, this is terrible. This is the worst, one of the worst starts I think I've seen. Is absolute carnage going off everywhere. I can't even tell you who's involved. It looks like half the fields, but look, they're all coming through here. Now it's this classic touring car action. They're all on the grass by the looks of it, and hopefully we'll have an order to read out at some point when they've all stopped squabbling with each other. There's BDCC down up front leading the way in a rather more calmful fashion by the looks of it, but he's got Joe all over the back, and there's Dan Berry running wide there. Jerry Berry running wide, Scuderia Sound just behind looking to take advantage. Oh, big smash as well. They're going into Nelson's corner. I can't keep up with all the action here if I'm honest. Reckman's down in 14th. Drive-through penalty for BDCC Dan and Chris Doherty for jumping the start. It did look like a too good start to be true, to be honest. That's terrible news for them. They're going to be well down the order at the end due to that. But Stuart Davis as well up in 7th. He'll be happy with that. There's cars mounting the curb. There's cars absolutely everywhere, Alex. Yeah,
that's like you said. That's probably one of the craziest and messy starts we've had. But how unlucky do you have to be for Chris and Alex who are both going off? That's a great move for the lead by Joe Brown, just throwing off the inside. Jerry Berry being quite lenient there, allowing him through. But look how close the field is compared to the first race. As we see. Cars all over the shop. That's Loopy going deep. That allows Roger up the inside, and Sabrosa's now looking. Now we're on board with Loopy, and where's he off? He's going for the barrier. Oh, bang! And I think that's Sabrosa off with him. They're coming back on the track, and now Alex overtaken. That's Free Gazelle following through. Loopy Richie falling right down the field. So Sabrosa down to 10th and 11th.
An absolutely terrible start for Sabrosa then. After comes second, it's off there, Roger the Dodger, but the looks of it trying to mount the curb, and he's trying to do a barrel roll, but didn't quite make it that time. He's going to have to give it another go. Alex DBL flies past him, so does Crazy Stewpot. Now he's got Alex Brown all over the back of Alex Brown's in the BMW by the looks of it, that blue and white one. Oh, and a big tangle, that's Free Gazelle by the looks of it. And BDCC Dan, again, BDCC Dan is in the wars after winning the opening race. Incredible stuff. And this is coming back through now. Big Bad Wolf on the inside as BDCC Dan gets up to pace again. Free Gazelle still recovering. Roger the Dodger's coming in the pit lane now. He's going 3 abreast on the main straight. Lupin McGee, the Scotsman's trying to get through on Subrosa, recovering. And Alex Brown is starting to have a bit of a train behind him. And down the inside goes Subrosa. Alex Brown still getting up to speed. Lupin McGee follows him through too. And now they're going down into the hairpin. Will Alex have a look back on the Scotsman? We'll have to wait and see, but Subrosa's away now. And now we're looking at Alex CBL, who's all over the back of the fire-smitten BMW, the orange car. That must be Stuart Davis. He's always in the orange car. He's up to an incredible 4th position, so it's BMW through 3rd and 4th, with Astra in 5th there. And it's absolute carnage everywhere you look, and Stuart Davis very early on the brakes. Alex CDL giving his friend a little nudge there. We got a little shot there of the back of Stuart, too close to be comfort, to be honest. And Alex is all over the back through Bombhole now. He's drifting that Astra through, and he's got a great run now. Great acceleration on the Astra, has to be said, but so on the BMW as well. Stuart surely isn't going to fight that one round the outside, and he doesn't. He backs out of it, and Alex CBL gets that position, but he's gone wide now, coming out of the last corner. He's gone really wide. He's on the dirt, and he's going to lose momentum doing that. Will this give Stuart Davis a chance by the end of the main straight? We know how fast that BMW is, and he's really in the slipstream now, but it looks like he's going to be a little bit too far back to have a go, as Subrosa now decides to pit.
Yeah, Alex Brown following him in, both the guys that needed to pit because he didn't do in the first race. But looking back at Alex now, still ahead of the BMW of Stu, so he didn't get back at him in the first corner. But Alex is very deep. We see that's Wolf also pitting, so I think that's everyone from the first race that didn't pitted now. Back with Alex being chased by Stu. As we see Chris and the Mercedes of Roger right up close, nose and tail. Will Chris have a dive? It's a great opportunity just because the brakes are so much better in the Astra. Roger defends, goes deep. Oh, he locks up, hits bumpers. That's Roger taking the easy exit as he just cuts the grass to sticks lead. And in the background there, you got a battle between Sabrosa and Free Gazelle. Free Gazelle battling the second place car from the first race. He's right on his tail. Will he have a look?
Yeah, Fregazelle's going to the inside. This is going to be incredible action as they head into one of the most difficult corners, and Fregazelle's down the inside of Subrosa, and Freegazelle takes a position away from Subrosa. Incredible stuff from Freegazelle. He has got the faster car on the straight, but still, that was a very brave manoeuvre, well executed into one of the fastest corners. Subrosa decides not to fight it too hard. Joe locking a wheel now. He's in first, and you've got a battling pair here of Cherryberry and Scuderia Sam. This could end up being a battle for the lead, Alex, because Joe, of course, has to pit. Despite the fact he's pulling away from these two, he will have to pit, and Cherryberry has got Scuderia Sam in the fast BMW all over the back of him at the moment.
Yeah, imagine that BMW's closing up, especially with this slipstream. He's looking around the outside. Will he try the similar move to Freegazelle? This will be very hard around the outside. Ooh, will he get on the brakes? Just bumping, and has he got through? Cherryberry on the grass, that's not going to help him. Sam's through. What a fantastic move by Sam there.
A great move from the BMW driver, but Cherryberry as well leaving racing room. That's a great racing between both of them. And Alex CBL is all over the curb there. Looks like he's giving Stuart Davis a chance. Oh, Stuart Davis rising the bucking Bronco on the grass. He's spinning now out of control in a cloud of his own tyre smoke off on the infield on the grass there. And this has allowed Alex to get away, but Alex now has a go too. Enters the drifting championships, but he doesn't get any points for that, and he needs to get back onto the circuit quickly because cars are flying past left, right and centre. Stuart Davis goes through. Luca McGee goes through. Fraser Stewart goes through. And he's down to 7th now is Alex CDL. He's still ahead of D-Man by the looks of it. Chris as well. D-Man's Irish mate is in 9th position by the looks of it. Roger the Dodgers had a few incidents too. They've all had quite a few incidents, to be honest, Alex, already in this race. Absolutely crazy, this one. The French guy, Requin to Mercine. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong, is in 13th, and he's ahead of the battling Big Bad Wolf, and Alex Brown as well getting stuck in still. BTCC Dan too. Would you believe BTCC Dan is all the way down there in nearly last place after battling for the lead and fantastically winning the opening race. How fortunes can change so quickly in this Touring Car Championship.
Yeah, it just shows one little incident at the start where he had a battle with Freegazelle, and he went from winning the first race. I know he had to pit in this one, but he's right back down. There's Bad Wolf looking on the inside of McQueen. He'll probably have the better brakes. Will he get it? Yeah, he's in. BTC Dan will probably having a look as well. Mercedes stays out the way, and that two wheels for Dan. That's go compromise him, and the Mercedes just goes. So I'll have that back and cuts the grass. He might get in trouble for that, but he's right in the back of Bad Wolf's Astra. Keep trying to call it Opel, but Vauxhall, wherever you call it. But that's a final warning for Queen. If he does it again, he'll probably get a penalty right on the back of him. Little lock up, you see the cloud in the background, but he goes wide, both using the sausage curbs. This is chaos, and this is for the last 4 positions on the grid.
There's such hard racing going on out there. You would have thought that everybody is fighting for the title of some sort. It's only race 2 in the first round of the championship. I mean, this is a sign of things to come. Then bring it on, Alex. This is absolutely fantastic stuff. Roger the Dodger are having a go on Subrosa. It looks like Subrosa trying to get past Roger Dodger quite possibly, and it looks like he's not going to find it easy because Roger Dodger's really fighting hard. These two are newcomers to the league. Well, not anymore really, but to the GT3 Championship they were newcomers, and they've proven their worth and how quick they are and how safe they are as well in terms of racing. We've seen great racecraft between both of them, and this is Freegazelle now coming under pressure. We saw his move on Subrosa, but Subrosa eventually managed to get past and pull away from Freegazelle, but now he's got his mirrors full of BTC Sedan, Big Bad Wolf, and his French rival there in 13th. Alex Brown now is rounding out the order. Alex CDL is trying to get past Stuart Davis once again, and Stuart Davis is just crouching on the grass slightly. Oh, it's quite dangerous there from Stuart Davis, and he's not having any of it, isn't he? He's not his favourite category, these cars, is it, Alex? Let's be honest.
No, he'll be trying to keep him back. Oh, Alex look on the inside, looking a bit more than the inside. And they're together, and heading towards the barrier. Oh, looks like Alex just pulls out, so they both don't crash, but Stu goes slow into the hip, and that allows Alex to get all over the back of it again. That Astra seems to be attached to that BMW bumper at this point with the mount it's behind him.
It does seem like it, doesn't it? These two, we've seen them race a lot in the past. They're stalwarts of the league, and they've raced a hell of a lot of times. And Alex, looking down the inside, the brakes on that car are so much better than the BMWs. And Stuart Davis mounting that sausage curve is going to have a poor exit now. And he's looking down the inside. It's actually but they tangled and they're off. They're both off in the grass and they're both hitting the barrier. And Stuart Davis takes the shortcut. Alex Viel decides to go back to the grey bit quicker. Incredible stuff. I think there's just a little bit of ProjectCars2 physics involved as well there to tangle them and tie them together a little bit. Chris Doherty now is going slightly wide, and he's going past the alien Stuart Davis as well, by the looks of it. He's got the inside line. Will Sabrosa in the background try and follow through. It looks like Sabrosa is following through now, just after bomb hole, and down into the last corner, and a Free Gazelle 10-second penalty for causing a collision, Alex.
Yeah, I don't think we saw what that was. Hopefully we get a replay. I don't remember him crashing anyone off, but as we see Roger battling with Stu, Stu will try and crowd him out again, because this three-way battle is now turned into a four-way battle. Stu defending as he does very hard, but that Mercedes is really good, and he's off on the grass again. That BMW's turned into a lawnmower. Always experimenting with some new line that he's worked out, but it doesn't seem to work because Roger's up on him now, and he's down to 11th place.
Yeah, Stuart Davis trying to experiment with looks it, but hasn't really worked out. You don't need to take a joker lap or anything in this Touring Car Championship in terms of going off on the grass and waving to the fans or anything like that. So Stuart Davis, maybe he's read the rule book wrong there. But anyway, he's back on the grey stuff now, and he's going well again. Sabrosa, look all over the back of Chris Doherty. This is a battle, to be honest, that a lot of us were expecting for the lead of races in this Touring Car Championship, and perhaps it will be in the future. But for today, they're battling over 8th and 9th position. It looks like Sabrosa has got a hell of a lot of pace at this stage of the race, and Chris Doherty is going to work out keeping him behind, but we know how good Chris is in terms of defence as well as attack, of course. He's a real life racing driver too, is Chris, and he's got Roger the Dodger and Sabrosa all over the back of him here, like a hungry pack of wolves trying to get past, and we're well over halfway in this race, so there's not that many more laps to go for them. So Sabrosa on the outside. He's going to try and brave it around the outside. He does try, but Chris is having none of it at all and forces him out wide, and this is allowed Roger the Dodger to have a go now instead. So he's past Sabrosa. Where is Sabrosa? There he is on the outside. He's going to try and brave it around the outside himself now again, and it doesn't quite work out for him. This is allowing Stuart Davis to catch up by the looks of it, and slight rewind there in the footage, and Roger the Dodger now is all over the back of Chris Doherty. Chris Doherty going very defensive, but he's lost out in the cutback now by the looks of it. Roger the Dodger probably went through there, did he? But doesn't look like it so far in the screen. Yeah, it is now. Roger the Dodger's got the inside line, but that's going to become the outside for the last corner, and Alex CBL is away in 6th position ahead of D-Man.
Yeah, he's
Oh, and all of that, Alex, as well. Joe is pitted from the lead, so now it's a battle between Cherryberry and Scuderia Sam for the win.
Yeah, he had to pit at some point because he was obviously he missed the first race, so he had to do it in this one. It looks like Chris is getting back through. See Alex hitting the curb quite hard there. He's trying to scarp away from the other Astra of D-Man, but this is the main battle. No, it's not for the leaders, not even for a podium. It's for 8th place, and they're actually bashing each other's doors bumpers off as Roger takes to the infield, which the Mercedes seem to be favourites of doing that. Him and Requiem have done that a few times now, but
well, we know what Mercedes are like with track limits.
That's true. That's a bit of a sour point for some people. As Roger now has a warning. See Roger looking on the outside, trying to do what Sam did. Didn't quite work. That surprises Sabrosa. He almost spins it, but just checks up in time. Now Mercedes looking on the inside. That's brave because Chris could just shut the door, and that's allowing the Renault to really catch up. Just touch on the back of that Mercedes. They have to put the brakes on, I think, because they got him all unsettled. Sabrosa, think about the Alex Edward, has to brake a lot earlier than the Mercedes and Astra, and it really shows, and that just allows them to pull away a bit. But on the straight, this is where the Renault comes into it, so it's almost like the BMW, but not quite as fast. Just look at it, he's absolutely flying using the slipstream. As we cut Alex going on 2 wheels there, that's quite brave. Not exactly how you do it. Now with Cherryberry, who's the equal leader. Oh, he's going through the back markers. Looks like he's just got past, I think it's either Free Gazelle or Alex. They've got similar cars. Will he let Sam through? This will be interesting. Oh, Sam just touching, getting a bit loose. Yeah, Free Gazelle going to the inside, but that's allowing the Mercedes to cream around the outside. That's a brave move. And he's got it, and that's for 14th place. As we see, I think that's Alex Free Gazelle going wide, and now back to the battle with Chris Doherty and Sabrosa now. Sabrosa getting past Roger. So it's a constant shuffling with these two, and the Mercedes looking back at the Renault as it's the leaders go over the start finish for the final lap. As we see Alex now seems to be struggling with that the back end of that Astra. It's all over the strop, and it's around. He's the second time he's gone to visit the fans in that corner, and that's allowed D-Man through. And will it allow these three through as he resets, and now he's going to be involved in this battle. So this rear is now turned into another four-way, so this could be a crazy final lap.
This has not worked out well for ICDL. We saw him make a few spins in the GT3 Championship, and he's already been to the drifting school here today. And as you said, he's lost positions now. Even Stuart Davis has got back past, I think, after his incident earlier. And this is Chris Doherty still putting up a stern defence. It's a fantastic display of defensive driving from Chris Doherty. There's some more contact going on. It's a proper touring car racing we're seeing right now. And going across the shortcut is Chris. He's taking the Mercedes line, and looks like Sabrosa has got a great run on Roger the Dodger as well. We'll have to wait and see how that pans out. But meanwhile, we're in Cherryberry. Oh, he runs wide at the last corner. This is going to give Scuderia Sam a chance. Look at this. This is all the way to the line on the last lap. This is right to the line here. Who's going to get there first? The BMW Power's coming. But it looks like the Renault's just going to get there, or is he? Yes, he is. Cherryberry just takes the win ahead of Scuderia Sam there. Fantastic racing. Once again, a very close finish just after finishing at race 1 as well. Great driving from Cherryberry there. And Scuderia Sam almost benefited right on the line, but not quite. And Gracie Stewpot in 3rd, Luke McGee an excellent 4th, and then Joe in 5th, D-Man, Chris Doherty looks like he's going to come home in 7th after defending for his life for most of that race from these two guys here. And look on the line, Sabrosa just edges ahead by the looks of it of the Mercedes of Roger the Dodger. Great driving. Well, Rog might have been letting him back through by the looks of it actually. And Alex, that was a race.
Yeah, you can finally catch your breath after that one. That was crazy for only the second round of the championship. As you see, Cherryberry winner of the second race of round 1, and that's 2 wins for the Renaults as well.
Yeah, like you say, catching our breath, because that was, for me, that was probably one of the most action-packed races we've ever had. 16 drivers all going for it. It felt like everybody was racing everybody else in that one, if I'm honest. That was fantastic stuff, that was. And yeah, Cherryberry, a great driver. I'd be really interested to see how the championship looks after this. Let's have a look at some replays first though, Alex. What's going on here? This is lap 2 Sabrosa versus Luke McGee by the looks of it. Oh yes, Luke McGee and Sabrosa coming together. I remember that one now. It looks like they just tangled slightly, and Luke McGee kicking an advertising board out of the way in disgust. And this is all collision almost with Stuart Davis and Alex CDL, and that's possibly Crazy Stewpot benefiting from it. It's on board with Crazy Stewpot, I think, and there's Stuart Davis getting some nice air there over the curves. He'll definitely need some new underwear onto that one. And then Scuderia Sam going past Cherryberry and put Cherryberry on the grass. Almost a repeat of what happened in race 1 between the two of them, but reversed. And this is Alex CDL doing some more drifting.
Yeah, he seems to enjoy drifting that Astra until it goes wrong, and I think this is when Stu and Alex came together. Yeah, Stu just trying to crowd out the Astra, didn't realise how far alongside it was, and that just forced them both into the barrier. So these two had a lot of incidents, and they're meant to be teammates, so God knows how the rest of the championship's going to go. As we see here, Queen not trying the barrel, and that's not really his fault. That looked like the
Alex Brown, that is.
Yeah, I thought it was Free Gazelle, but thanks Sam. That's a big crash between those two.
Yeah, so after all of that, it feels like we've had a full championship racing already. Cherryberry takes the points lead by 3 points over Scuderia Sam. Sabrosa in 3rd, BTCC Dan 4th. D-Man, Roger the Dodger, Crazy Stewpot, Luke McGee, Chris Doherty, Big Bad Wolf, Joe, Stewart, Alex CDL down in 13th. We're expecting him to be higher up than that. Free Gazelle there in 40th, excellent 14th ahead of Rick Wynn and Alex Brown, who only did the second race, but he's got 2 points to show for it. And slightly different points to normal, isn't it? What are the points, Alex? Can you remember off the top of your head? I can't remember.
I believe it's out of 40 points to the leader, and then it goes down gradually from there.
Okay, yeah, so that makes sense. So the team's championship, Alex, looks like that. Crazy Berry leading the way ahead of Scuderia Chris.
Yeah, then the BTCC and Bad Wolf together again. Those two are fan favourites. And then Joe Brown and D-Man not with his Irish partner for once. He's got a new partner there in 4th. Then try and pronounce Sabrosa Messine. In 5th with 56, and Alex Warren 44, drawing with Loopy Gazelle, and then Alex and Stu with all their in-team fighting in last place.
Yeah, and in the Manufacturer Drivers' Championships, it's Cherryberry who's the best Renault driver so far. Roger the Dodger is the front runner Mercedes. D-Man is the best Opel/Vauxhall driver. as curious and the best BMW driver so far. So we'll have to see how that all shapes up. There's a lot more racing still to come. But that was an absolutely fantastic opener, to be honest, Alex. I really enjoyed that one. What was your highlight from that?
Probably just all the battling, especially in the second race when you had Chris Sabrosa and Roger basically race-long battle. That was absolutely fantastic to watch. And if that's the way things are going, really look forward to the rest of this championship.
Certainly, and I think my highlight was the race director managing to keep up with all of that, to be honest. It looked like an absolute nightmare keeping up with all that action. But yeah, join us next time where we're at Silverstone to see how and what next surprises we have in store in this championship.